if you are living under a rock and somehow do not know, the Justice Department released 3.5 million files related to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. There were videos and photos and emails and all kind of stuff in there. It's literally still being reviewed right now. I do not have the time to get into that, but what I will tell you is that every single time that I refresh my timeline, I have like 2 or 3 more posts that I can save to go over later. Like there's so much, it's insane. That is not why we're here today. However, let's get the blood flowing with this one, because this is pretty crazy, right? I mean, more details from the Jeffrey Epstein documents that were released today include the names of multiple team owners. Notable names mentioned in the newly released notable sports names mentioned in the newly released Epstein documents: Josh Harris of the 76ers and the Commanders, Woody Johnson of the Jets, Steve Tisch of the Giants. Over here in the comments we got, are we really surprised a guy named Woody Johnson is in the Epstein files? It's unfortunate, certainly. We all know the Packers owners won't be on that list. I guess they are community owned. I can't tell if she's joking about that or not. Josh Harris and Steve Tisch are connected to Epstein. Terrible day for the NFC East. Here's Jeffrey Epstein mentioning Woody Johnson as the Jets owner. Yes, the Jets are mentioned in the Epstein files. But just to kind of, again, just as a little bit of a crossover to what we're going to talk about in another show, think about the the pure scope of this Jeffrey Epstein stuff, right? This is one email out of 3.5 million files that were released. One email. And it features these names: Candace Bergen, which sounds familiar, but I can't remember what that's from. Patricia Clarkson, who's single, in case anybody's wondering. Evelyn and Lindy Rothschild. Maureen Dowd, Tom Finston, Bryant Gumbel, which I'm pretty sure is isn't that? Yeah. Wait. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Yikes. So that guy, Richard Haas, head of the Council of Foreign Affairs, Woody Johnson from the Jets, Bill Keller, Barry Levinson. I'm pretty sure, if you look all these people up, I'm sure that they have, there's a reason why they're there. but some of these people have bigger titles than others. John Lithgow, Rob Marshall, director of Chicago and Nine, Lauren Michaels, who's a big name, Bette Midler, Vivo Nevo, biggest stockholder at Time Warner. Even people that you didn't know were big names, like Vivo Nevo. Who the hell is that? Oh, he's the biggest stockholder at Time Warner. We're at these dinners. Nora Ephron, Eric Schmidt, Rick Steingel, editor of Time, Blaine Trump. I don't know if that's of the same family, I would assume. Never heard of a Blaine Trump, though. Let's see. Okay, so of no relation, actually. The released documents reveal years of email exchanges and meetings between Commanders owner Josh Harris and Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein and Sixers co-owner Josh Harris had an ongoing business relationship that included numerous phone calls and at least one visit to Epstein's home in Manhattan, according to emails released Friday by the U.S. Department of Justice. Yeah, my God, this story. There's also this one. Let's get Steve Tisch's reply real quick before we jump over to the other thing that I had pulled up. Giants executive VP and chairman Steve Tisch issued a statement following today's reports about him scouting women with Jeffrey Epstein over email. We had a brief association where we exchanged emails about adult women, and in exchange, we discussed and in addition, we discussed movies, philanthropy, and investments. I did not take him up on any of his invitations and never went to his island. As we all know now, he was a terrible person, someone I deeply regret associating with. Brother, your name showed up 440 times in the files. You didn't have a brief association with him. That's bullshit, in my personal opinion. And just for a tiny piece of detail on that, what they were emailing about was specifically asking about whether women were professionals or civilians. And you can, read into that what you will. Not a great look for Steve Tisch or for the NFL for that matter. And I was actually listening to them talk about it this morning about whether it constitutes enough for them to actually investigate. And it's this goes to the whole point of the whole thing, which is why I'm going to leave this here, because I certainly do not have time to get into the Epstein thing. But what more do you have to do to be punished other than being associated with clearly had a relationship with the most notorious pedophile to ever live? Again, I don't have time to talk about the fact that there were 5,000 mentions of our current president or any of the other stuff. But yeah, an investigation. What needs to be investigated? The investigation's already been done for you. The evidence is right there. Buddy's gotta go. Anybody that has ever I'm at the point where if you were in the room with Jeffrey Epstein, I'm ready for you to just get hung in the public square personally. But that's that's neither here nor there. Russell Wilson has denied any involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. It's not funny, but I'm sorry. This is just getting ridiculous. Apparently, he was one. This is the quickest I've seen him move since the Seahawks. Russell Wilson was basically trying to buy a plane, and somebody basically tried to hook him up with. Well, I'll just let Russell Wilson say it. Basically, the email showed that Russell Wilson was trying to potentially buy Jeffrey Epstein's plane through a third party, is what Russell Wilson is saying. Nope, absolutely not. Not today, saying some random plane broker tried to sell me a plane. I had no idea whose plane it was and never bought the plane. Never talked to nor met the man, thank God. I believe him. I do. I honestly do. And it is unfortunate that there are people that are getting caught up in this that are just mentioned for one random reason or another. I mean, I don't know. I guess your opinion on this one just kind of depends on how coincidental, I guess, you find that to be. I couldn't tell you. Obviously, just not something you ever want to see if you're Russell Wilson.